So head of the Department of Homeland Security, Kristi Noem, as you all know, she's out there. She's always doing a fucking photo shoot. She's always like, virtue signaling, or I should say vice signaling about being this like strong leader. Look at me, I'm on horseback at the southern border. Look at me, I'm armed next to all the ICE agents and the Border Patrol agents. She's always got some shitty fucking, high-level photographer who's taking pictures of her dressed like a fucking cowboy or dressed like a pirate or some shit. She's like a kid on Halloween playing dress-up. Very bizarre, very weird. Also, she's had so much plastic surgery that her face doesn't move. Like, it's very, again, she's a bizarre one, And by the way, nothing against people who want to get plastic surgery, but, like, within reason, bro. Like, know your limits. When you're at the point where you can't fucking smile because your facial muscles are paralyzed, maybe reel it in a little bit. Maybe lay off the needle. She decided she's going to go on Meet the Press. This was just an absolute train wreck. So first of all, Kristen Welker asked her about this death squad CIA-trained child soldier who came to the country and ended up shooting two National Guardsmen, one dead. I think one is still in critical condition as of the recording of this, at least. And she's asked about that, and it's brought to her attention that, okay, so this person came into the country under Biden, but the final approval was done under Trump. And look at how she absolutely crashes out and is completely and utterly incapable of answering a very basic, simple, straightforward question.
Now, when we vet individuals under this administration, we know who they are, why they are here, and going through that. Unfortunately, this individual, that entire process happened under Joe Biden's watch.
Well, but just to be very clear, I want to go back to what happened on the Trump administration's watch. He was extensively vetted in order to serve alongside U.S. service members as a part of the CIA-trained strike force. But in terms of what happened on the Trump administration's watch, just to be very clear, what vetting did the Trump administration do before giving this suspect asylum?
The vetting process, Kristen, happens when the person comes into the country, and Joe Biden completely did not vet any of these individuals, did not vet this individual, waited until he got into the United States, and then that application for asylum was opened under the Joe Biden administration when he was the president in the White House and allowed that to go forward with the information that they provided. That's the Biden administration's responsibility. This is the consequences of the dangerous situation he put our country in when he allowed those people to infiltrate our country during that abandonment of Afghanistan. And that's why I'm so grateful we have a president now that isn't going to allow it to happen, that he now has put in place measures under his watch at the Department of Homeland Security that we are bringing in new information on vetting, new information to use, such as what do they do on Facebook? What do they do on TikTok and other social media platforms? And who are they talking to? Who are their conversations with? And we use their biometric data information now to track to make sure they are who they say they are and they're here for their right intentions.
And we are going to talk about some of the steps the president's taking, but I just want to be very clear about this because his asylum was approved in April of this year on the Trump administration's watch. So just to be very clear, was there a vetting process in place to approve that asylum request?
Yeah, the vetting process all happened under Joe Biden's administration.
But was he vetted when he was granted asylum? Are you saying he wasn't vetted when he was granted asylum?
Vetting is happening when they come into the country, and that was completely abandoned under Joe Biden's administration.
She's like one of those dolls where you pull the string on the back and it just repeats the same shit, or like the bird on the shoulder. Probably want a cracker. Probably want a cracker. She just says the same shit over and over. Like, are you going to engage with what's actually being said, or are you just going to fucking go right back to your NPC talking points? And we know the answer, right back to the NPC talking points. So she has no response for the fact that the final approval for the asylum happened under Trump. That's what happened. And by the way, we're burying the lead here because the real story is that the CIA was literally kidnapping and training child soldiers in Afghanistan. And they were part of fucking death squads, right? And then they eventually get led in here to late-stage capitalist hellscape America. And then, the guy loses it and goes nuts. And his family said for a long time he was losing his grip with reality. Because think about the shit from when he was 14 years old. He was a death squad assassin under a pedophile Afghan warlord trained by the CIA and told what to do by the CIA. This is some MK Ultra shit where they do mind control and they fucking drug the people. And I mean, this is insane. This is a guy, all he knows is death and destruction. And it was the U.S. that armed him and trained him and groomed him for exactly that. So the real story here is we never should have fucking been in Afghanistan in the first place. Never. And by the way, don't take my word for it. You go back and read the history on it. It is very terrifying how the people we aligned with in Afghanistan, nominally to defeat the Taliban and Al-Qaeda, it was literal pedophile warlords where there were stories of U.S. soldiers who blew the whistle because somebody who was our ally, who we were arming and backing, was caught with like children chained to his bed. And when they blew the whistle, they were dishonorably discharged for rocking the boat and telling the truth about who we were allied with in Afghanistan. Does that sound like we're fighting for fucking freedom and democracy and that we're on the right side? Sorry, we got to defeat the Taliban to allow the pedophile warlords to run the country. Are you fucking crazy? Are you crazy? But this is what it was. But here she is. She has no good answer on that front, but we're just getting started because this is the big one. This is the one where this is her accidentally admitting that, you know what? I ordered a federal crime. I ordered a federal crime, and I have no response. I have no rebuttal. And as a direct result of that, this video will eventually be played in my court trial when I get locked up for years.
Secretary Noem, let me turn to my final topic. In a filing in federal court this week, the Justice Department said that when the administration was ordered back in March to stop sending detained migrants to a mega prison in El Salvador, you personally made the final call to continue the flights anyway. Is that correct? Do you acknowledge that?
You know, we have court filings going on and decisions that are going forward. I'll let them continue to play through that process.
But did you make that
I'm
call?
I'm proud of President Trump and his leadership and the decisions that we have made. And the decisions that are made on deportations, where flights go and when they go, are my decision at the Department of Homeland Security. And we will continue to do the right thing and ensure that dangerous criminals are removed.
Oh my God, she admitted. She admitted. Yeah, I made the decision. I decide, when the planes go and where they go. Oh, you fucking idiot. Oh, you idiot, you're making this too easy. Look at her face. This is the face of somebody who looks like they know they just admitted to committing a crime.
Department of Homeland Security, and we will continue to do the right thing and ensure that dangerous criminals are removed.
So that you're saying that it was your decision. It sounds like the judge wanted to ensure that people were given due process. He said very clearly, quote, any plane containing these folks that is going to take off or is in the air needs to be returned to the United States, but those people need to be returned to the United States. However that's accomplished, I leave to you. But this is something that you need to make sure is complied with immediately. Did you defy the court's order, Madam Secretary?
The answer is yes, and she actually just admitted that.
No, Kristen, and that's one of the things that we continue to face across this country is activist judges who are using radical decisions that have...
Activist judges who take the insane position of due process matters. The Constitution matters. Are you out of your mind? You're arguing against the most American thing of all time. You are taking the un-American position. You are taking the fuck the Constitution position. As you call him radical. Oh my God, man. The next Nuremberg trials are going to be fucking dope, son. Holy shit. We're going to party when that day comes. We are going to party. We're going to get some champagne. We're going to get some drugs. We're all going to fucking tune in. Oh my God. We're going to get some LED lights and maybe a DJ to play some hits as we all fucking party watching these losers get locked up for life.
Activist judges who are using radical decisions that have no standing and no grounds to try to stop what President Trump is doing to protect America and to keep us safe. So we'll continue to do the right thing, continue to work and protect Americans, no matter what radical judge comes out and tries to stop us. We'll do the right thing and know that we're on the side of the law, the side of the Constitution, and the side of the American people.
Okay, I got a new word for this. What we're watching is fortune cookie conservatism. Every single thing she says, it's like it's fucking written on a fortune cookie. It's like a slogan on a bumper sticker on the back of a Ford F-150 in Alabama. That's what this shit is. The radical extremist judges are being radical and extreme, and we are going to stand up. President Trump is a great leader, and he is going to defend the Constitution by destroying the Constitution. What are you doing? Has the Botox infiltrated your brain? Is it preventing you from coming up with a better line of bullshit? Oh my God, man. This is so crazy to watch. I don't like what. Okay. I think Kristen Welker did a great job here, but I'm going to say it again. Why even bother having these people on? I don't get it. Why even have these people on? Literally every single one of them, all they do is lie. All they do is fascism and lie. That's it. So why even pretend like there's any justification to have them on? But at the same time, I will say, if you are ever going to have them on, you got to treat them like this. You got to hold them accountable just like this. Again, I think Kristen Welker did a phenomenal job here. But these people need to be slapped the fuck around, metaphorically speaking, by the media all the time. They have to. Because people need to know just how full of shit they are. Again, she committed an unthinkable crime. She made it so that all these people who were getting deported and sent to an El Salvador concentration camp with no due process. She's the one who guaranteed there will not be any due process. There will not be a hearing. They will not talk to their lawyer. They will not talk to their wife or their mom or their family members. They made sure, hey, act quickly, ship them out of the country now. And then guess what? They went to CCOT. CCOT, like I said, is a concentration camp in El Salvador. There was a big article that broke the other day that we talked about. What happened to these innocent people at CCOT? They got tortured and they got raped. You had these guards force these innocent people to suck them off. That's what the article said. They also cut themselves and wrote messages in their blood on their sheets. They got so desperate that they did these things. Their conditions were so horrifying between the sleep deprivation and the sexual assault and the grape. They were desperate. They were writing in their blood trying to get out. This was a place they were told, you're literally never going to get out of here. You're going to fucking die here. This is what they were told. 2025, the United States of America sent innocent people to a concentration camp. By the way, as we know, literally over 90% of them don't even have a criminal record. Okay, which, by the way, even if they did, it still wouldn't justify being sent to a concentration camp and raped and tortured. But they didn't even have a criminal record. Okay, these are the same people who want to open up Guantanamo and send 30,000 immigrants there. They opened up Alligator Auschwitz and sent people there. By the way, 4,000 people are still missing. ICE Gestapo thugs arrested 4,000 people and they're still fucking missing. So these people are all criminals. They're disgusting criminals. They're scumbags. The lower level judges below the Supreme Court, they've done a phenomenal job. They've held these people accountable. But the Supreme Court always steps in and happens to save the Trump regime at the last fucking second. Well, no fucking more, man. Fuck that shit. Judge Boasberg is 100% right. Kristi Noem is admitting to a federal crime on live TV here, and there absolutely need to be consequences, and these people need to know. The second you're out of power, oh, it's a fucking wrap. It is a wrap. We're going to throw the goddamn book at you. And I just saw, I didn't watch the video yet, but I did see the other day that Legal Eagle, their YouTube channel, released a video, detailing some of the crimes that the Trump regime has committed, right? And they say it's a comprehensive list. I doubt it. There's probably way more crimes that are just in that video. But like, again, I hope there's legal experts keeping track of all this shit because it is fucking endless how horrific criminals they are. And, Kristi Noem, they're so arrogant, they're so high on their own supply that oftentimes they admit to their crimes and don't even realize they're doing it. And hopefully that comes back and bites them directly in the ass. Hey, y'all, do me a favor and like and subscribe. It helps out big time in the algorithm. Click the bell as well for notifications when videos drop. And watch that video on screen right now. You know you want to.